Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today, the excitement. You asked me to do the Handel Concerti grossi. Yes, the Grodi Concerti. The Concerti Grossi, Opus 6. Concertos Grossos, Opus 6. All 12 of the suckers. And so I'm doing it. Absolutely. Now, the Opus 6 Concerti Grossi are one of the three great sets of Baroque concertos. I mean, there are many more, and some of them are great, but I mean the ones that are the most popular. There's this one, there's Bach's Brandenburgs, and of course there's the Four Seasons by Vivaldi. And when you put those three together, you sort of have, Baroque Concerto 101. The Handels are the largest set because there are 12 concertos, and because it's Handel, who, as Tovey said, had the gift of gab. He loved lots of notes. And so he called them grand concertos. He actually wrote them to be performed as intermission music or interlude music in performances of his oratorios. And for those performances, he added oboe parts, which sometimes you hear, sometimes you don't. They double the violins. They don't have any independent existence. But they are beautiful. Oh, they're so beautiful. And they actually use some of the music from his operas. I mean, Piangero, the fabulous Piangero, la mia sorta si crudel. Well, I can't do it, but it's from Julius Caesar, Julius Caesar in Egypt, and that's in the 8th Concerto Grosso. And things like that. So the relationship between these pieces and vocal music is very, 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 very close. And it's close not just because he borrows tunes, but because the melodies themselves are so vocal and expressive and beautiful. And so performances of these really need to have that vocal element, even in the quick parts. They need to sing, and that means they need to have a certain amount of warmth, like vibrato, timbrally speaking. Now, there are, as with all of these Baroque things, when we talk about them, recordings on period instruments and recordings on real instruments. And, you can choose between them. But for this particular chat, you'll be pleased to know, I have selected period instruments for one of the greatest recordings ever. And it is this one, on Harmonia Mundi, the Academy of Ancient Music, conducted by Andrew Manze. Now, of course, every English period music person in the universe did these pieces, right? Hogwood did them, Pinnock did them, everyone did them. Everybody did them. Gardner did them. They all did them. And, it started with Neville Mariner did them. I mean, who knows? The Boyd Neal Orchestra did them. I mean, if you're English and you played a string thing, you did them. But this Harmonia Mundi recording, I think, is really special. First of all, Andrew Manze, aside from being a fabulous Baroque violinist, has also turned into a very, very good conductor. His Vaughan Williams recordings have had their wonderful moments, especially Job. It's just terrific. He's a conductor of substance, and because he's a conductor of substance, he leads these Concerti Grossi in a positive and dynamic way. It's not just a collection of strings with like some guy playing the violin in front and they say, go! And then they sort of metronomically just blast their way through them. The tempi are quick, although these are very, very long discs in playing time. They're 79 minutes and 77 minutes. Usually these take up 3 discs, but here they're all squished together on 2, but not in numerical order because the timings wouldn't have worked out. And so it's wonderful that you get the whole set on 2 discs, but also that the performers have such positive energy. I mean, just in a really good, expressive and singing way. I mean, most of these are in major keys. I think there's number 3 is in E minor, 10 is in D minor, and let's see, 8 is in C minor. That's the one with Piangero, la mia sorta, whatever it is. It's so beautiful. The C minor one. The A minor one is number 4. G minor, number 6. Well, half of them are in minor keys or more. Never mind me. I think of them. It's funny. It doesn't really matter whether they're major or minor because I think of them as joyful pieces. I really do. I mean, because the music is just so, there's a richness and abundance to Handel's writing, and particularly when Handel's writing for strings. You know, he was kind of the Richard Strauss of the Baroque period. He loved richness of timbre and a certain sensual joy in the sound of the instruments. That I don't know how he did it. I look at his opera scores, for example, and quite often you see arias accompanied by like 3-part violins. He liked multiply divided string parts. And here, of course, you've got, because these are based on the Concerto grosso concept as developed by Corelli in his Opus 6 Concerti, which may be the 4th great series of Concerti grossi in the Baroque period. If you can add those in too. Because of that, you have, a large string ensemble versus a smaller string ensemble. And to really make it work, you have to maximize that contrast. There has to be a real sense of weight to the full string section and a delicious sense of singing joyful abandon to the small string section. Well, anyway, all of those qualities are here in every concerto. I don't have to single them out. You'll enjoy the whole set. It's a fabulous, fabulous set that really, I think, represents in some respects the maturity of the period instrument performance. That is movement. That is, they're so good at what they're doing now that they can forget about the technical limitations of the instruments or the need to sound somehow different and just make great music. And that's what they do. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.